Good morning, guys. It is 3/2/2018, and today I'm going to be talking about what you can simply do on your search engine, and you find out where you're located at. So you go in your search engine and you type in "where am I," and you say find your location. Okay. My location keeps coming up: Texas, Montgomery, Alabama, and the White House. And it's always switching. 1 minute it's the White House, next minute it's Texas, Houston area, next minute it's like Montgomery, Alabama, where the Southern Poverty Law Center is. People who are supposed to protect us from extreme groups. Well, I'm far from an extreme group. I'm just an individual with a different awakened mentality. I see things that people can't see. I've studied ancient religions and symbologies and gematria, and I see the world. I see the United States being literally taken over by a Democratic Party, and then I share a lot of my personal stories, how once you get targeted because you're a conservative, just like what happened to Hitler, I tell true stories about what's happening to us. It's like we're being witch hunted. Our YouTube channels get taken down. Our children get killed. People around us are dying, and it just doesn't make sense. And then the local police, they don't even look at the evidence. It's like you send them evidence and they, oh, well, and the other day I heard on the news, local news, that a gentleman was arrested at the coroner's office for taking pictures of bodies. And I'm thinking to myself, why would somebody do that unless they were trying to expose some kind of crime? I've also talked about body organ harvesting. I talk about Rh negative, how this is a big secret. The Rh negative bloodline, big secret. It's like these people are getting hunted. They're using, it's like their body parts are worth a fortune, because it's amazing how you read the Bible and it talks about, Jesus was a healer, that I can give blood to anybody on planet Earth, right? But I can't take blood from anybody. The Rh negative factor is a huge cover-up that we can literally heal. Matter of fact, all the antibodies and the antigens and stuff for viruses and diseases are created with the Rh negative gene. And we don't have that monkey gene factor. It's almost like our body rejects some type of invasion of a Rh positive factor, which is the Reese's monkey. It's like our body won't accept it. Our cells won't allow these antigens to collect. It's a very mysterious thing that even the TV series Ancient Aliens talked about, how all the kidnappings, supposedly alien kidnappings, were Rh negative people. Ted Gunderson talked about how like 70% of the people that were kidnapped were Rh negative green eyes, right? Which is exactly who I am. I mean, I'm a hazel-eyed Rh negative. It's like, so we try to figure out, why are we being hunted? What did we do? We're just citizens that have been racketeered on. We've been targeted because we're conservatives. We're telling our story. For example, Cox Enterprise was a company that was studying our Facebook channels, and at the time I was supporting Ron Paul because he was talking about going after the Federal Reserve and subpoenaing them and telling them to offer up our records, because I was in banking and I knew how fraudulent the banks were doing people. It was fraud. Their contracts, how usury, and I've been well educated on that they're committing fraud. It used to be against the law to lend money. And not only, I mean, they're not just lending money, guys. They're on a house loan. They're getting 3 times what you borrow. That's huge. And then they get it up front, which is also racketeering. You don't even pay it equally. They get it all up front. Learn law, simple interest, and the law 554s, and all the different types of contracts that you sign. There's different loans, guys. There's loans like simple, amortized, and then there's, which is what they call law 553, and then law 554, and then, I've studied all this stuff. It's absolutely insane what they can do to you, and how the average person pays like 18-19% interest now. It's actually even higher, because the banks will actually now charge a bank fee if you have bad credit. Now, then we learned about the LIBOR scandal, how Hillary Clinton was just targeting people. And I was one of them, because every time I would run my credit, I always paid my bills on time, everything. But always my score was lower than everybody else's. I couldn't figure out why. And I was always battling these FICA, and I realized that the TransUnion, CBI, Equifax, all that stuff's got nothing to do with the score. It's some private corporation that the Democrats had created, and now they can target certain people, and it's called the LIBOR scandal. They would target people, and then they would charge them more interest. And I was one of them. And it's amazing that they were doing this to me, and I'm sitting here, I'm in the banking business, so I figured it out. So I became kind of like a whistleblower. I'm like, wait a minute, you're targeting us. Why? Is it because of my bloodline? Is it because of my family history? I've got Irish, German, American Indian, French. These are all nations that were attacked by the bankers in history. And then we got to learn in school that Columbus discovered America. It's such horse crap. It's not true. There were 300 million American Indians living here, and these people were hunted down like witches. It was like a witch hunt, and they killed the shaman first, which were the smart people, or the chiefs, call them whatever you want, but they killed all the healers, and then they brought in their European medicine, which I've also talked about, how doctors don't know what's in pills. Look, guys, if I am considered some type of a terrorist because I'm asking a doctor, hey, what's in the pill? I'm asking, why do you teach our kids, Columbus discovered America, which is a lie. I tell a personal story how, as I was, supporting Ron Paul, all of a sudden my life went to shit. And my own company started covertly harassing me and targeting me, and workforce harassment, started electronic torture, learned about scalar waves, tetra technology, directed energy weapons, ultrasonic, infrasonic, same thing you could buy for your dog to torture your dog. They have things on cell towers and amplifiers and things like that they can torture you. So how is that? And then my daughter's death, many questions, didn't make sense. Top of her class. One of the smartest girls I've ever met. She was served 2 years internship as a forensic psychologist. She was finishing her master's. Genius kid. Critical thinker also. Also a conservative. My daughter was very conservative. Her boyfriend, I have proved, that was getting paid by one of these Democratic Party covert operators. And he was stealing her money and doing all kind of things. And he threatened to kill her the night before she died. And I had 4 witnesses that admitted that. But nobody wanted to. The police didn't even want to look into that. The guy actually had a whole day to cover up the evidence that he killed her. And then the cops didn't even question. It's kind of like this Hogg guy and the FBI. These things don't make sense. So 9/11 happens, and I think, well, that's physics impossible. It's impossible for a building to fall at the speed of gravity, and building 7, and then steel melting, and it's physics impossible. How can the official story be true? And you question it, and next thing you know, you have no life. Your civil liberties, your freedoms, your everything is taken from you. People are murdered around you, and the police follow you around like you're some kind of a terrorist.